Hello. That was awesome. I was just thinking, as Monica was finishing up, like, I'm just like pretty humbled the fact that you can like sort of move your body or control your body in that way and have this sort of confidence to sort of, I don't know, gesticulate and dance in front of us in that way. I was like, that's pretty awesome. And Cory, I've been trying to get through Vijay's album as well as Rudresh's album, and it's been challenging. And so the fact that you brought it in today, that was great. Thank you. Julie, the fact that you, I don't know, like, brought in these great comic books from my past and sort of shown the sort of evolution of it in her gallery, that's super freaking rad. I'm sure everybody else is going to have awesome stuff too. The curry powder stuff, that's pretty awesome. Thank you. Anyway, so I'm an animator. I work over at Pixar. That's me. It's my passport photo. The reason I show this is I was born in the UK and raised down in LA. And I grew up in this motel, in the Lido Motel. It's right off of Route 66. And so growing up in this little motel in Southern California, I didn't really have many friends, and so I just kind of stuck inside the motel, and I just drew a lot and watched a lot of cartoons. And I guess eventually, if you just like do that long enough, like you become an artist somehow. Anyway, I don't know, like 10, 15 years later, I got hired from Pixar and been there for almost like 16 years now. And eventually, I kind of got a little bit more self-confidence to like look beyond like, I don't know, Western art and Western animation. I got really excited about Asian art, and so I made my first book. This wasn't it, actually. The first book was called Little India, and some people here at the Asian Art Museum actually saw it, and they actually asked me to sort of come in and do a little family program, which was awesome. I think Allison was one of the people that invited me here, which is super awesome. And the fact that I have a freaking show here now, it's like crazy. Anyway, so after I made a little book of, after I made Little India, I realized that I kind of made a mistake with the title. And the fact that I only showed Hindu deities, we ended up renaming the book, the Little Book of Hindu Deities, and we actually expanded it. And I don't know, it's kind of a cool book. So this is one of the pages from the book. It sort of features Hindu gods in, I don't know, kind of a cute, iconic way. I was really inspired by like Sanrio's stuff. They're the designers from Japan who do Hello Kitty and stuff. And my hope was like, you know, people get kind of aggro about religion. They kind of get, I don't know, a bit feisty. And so I was like, well, I thought if I just designed everything as cute as possible, then, you know, hopefully you could kind of kill them with kindness, you know? So, oh, that was it. Oh, and after I made that first book, it was the first time I had ever actually been to India. So I was like all of like, I don't know, like 32, and I went to India for like a month. And at the end of the month, like the 5 people that I was with, they all kind of left early because it was just too much for them. And me and another friend from art school, we stuck around, and it was great because at the end of the trip was the 2 places that I wanted to go to the entire trip. And this is, the one spot luckily had the 2 spots that I wanted to go to, which was great. They're both in Aurangabad, right outside of Bombay. And this is I don't want to say the caves, it's like the monolith, that's what they kind of consider it, of Ellora. And if any of you guys ever want to go, if you guys do go to India, dude, like this is it, man. Anyway, I was like pretty blown away. And one of the things I saw there was this like amazing like, I don't know, like bas relief or frieze of the Ramayana. I was like, oh my God, look, it's all storyboarded. That's awesome. It's like a freaking comic strip. They were totally thinking in animation as well. And so I got really excited about the story, and I started reading a bunch of adaptations. After I published that first book, I had connected with an animator in New York. Her name is Nina Paley. She had single-handedly animated her version of the Ramayana called Sita Sings the Blues. It's pretty incredible. A, the fact that one person has animated a feature, and B, the fact that she sort of gave voice to Sita in a way that's sort of really specific to a woman's point of view. Anyway, she had turned me on to these adaptations by an author from India. His name is Rajesh Menon, and those are the books down there at the bottom. And I started reading this thing for like a year, and I created my own little book report on the Ramayana. It took me like 3 years. I don't know, it was really fun to finally sort of, you know, meld the things that I've learned at Pixar and the things that I really like in terms of like modern design and aesthetics. And sort of marry that with a story that's like in my parents' realm that I never really understood. And so to finally A, read it, and then B, to study it, and then like to C, to illustrate it, I finally figured out a way to like connect all these separate things. Like how do I connect like my arty like love of like, I don't know, like all things, I don't know, modern, and how do I connect my love for like Warner Brothers and Disney with these miniature paintings and the stuff that like my parents want me to do. So it was really through these books that I kind of merged the sort of separate parts of my personality, I would say. This quote here, I don't know why I'm quoting myself, but I really like, sorry. So I like drawing a lot. That's all I was trying to say. This is my sketchbook. And the reason I'm showing this stuff is that I kind of did a talk a little while ago to these a graduate class over at the CCA. And it was called Point of View. And the whole idea was, you know, to help people like figure out their point of view. And a friend of mine who was teaching the class, they're like, oh, Sanjay, you should totally, you know, come talk to our students. I'm like, all right. And like the thing I wanted to like show is like, you know, if you just saw like the first part of my presentation, like, oh my God, this guy totally knows what he's doing. I have no freaking idea what I'm doing. And I feel like the sketchbook sort of bears witness to that in terms of like being really sort of in love with it all in many ways. So I really love drawing. I love pen and ink. I love markers. I love my sketchbooks. Every day before I'd go to work at Pixar, I was so in love with drawing. And when I was at Pixar, you were sort of working in 3D. Oh shit, I hear the music. All right, so these are my sketches, which is to say I love drawing. See, I'm proving it. And this is when I finally like discovered like Indian miniature paintings. And this was my first drawing I ever did of the Ramayana. And this is one of the last ones I did of the Ramayana. Thanks.